presentation in a second, but why on earth would a woman from Ballylinen stage the largest outdoor agricultural exhibition in the world and do it successfully? That's a key question that people have travelled from all over the world to Ballylinen on the Kildare-Laois border to try and have a look. I've thought about it. I've known Anna May for a long time, and there's a number of elements that come to mind. There's capacity, commitment, and empathy. And she is all those in bucketfuls, and with the capacity, she brings a business sense, and while I'm sure she's enormously charitable, she can certainly hold her own in any business conversation. And that is what has steered the National Ploughing Championships to such preeminence. I first met her actually, at this stage I had to laugh. One of my colleagues, I think it was David Layden, came into me last year or the year before and said, the supermarkets, are thinking of going to the ploughing. Are they? I said, good, that's grand. I hope we get a few ads from them for the supplement. Well, the point is, he said, that one of them rang Anna May and said they were interested in going. She better come up to head office in Dublin and have a chat with them and discuss terms. So that's what they said to Anna May, and she replied, I don't even travel to the offices of the Farmers' Journal, let alone to the supermarket head office in Dublin. So they ate humble pie and they came down and they discussed it with her. Anna May needs very little introduction. She is the National Ploughing Association. She's been there certainly since the late 50s, and the organisation and the scale of the operation has grown enormously over the last number of years. And it is, as far as I know, the only mobile national exhibition that now exists. In other words, obviously, it moves from site to site with enormous success. When I was told that I was to speak and introduce Anna May, I was told that everybody knew that she had been made the Laois Person of the Year, that she'd been the Rehab National Winner of the Year, that she'd got an honorary doctorate from DIT, that the events industry had given her an award for outstanding contribution to the events industry, that she'd got the Irish Security Premier Award, and that she'd got the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur Award for her outstanding contribution to rural life. Everyone knew that. The other thing that I know about Anna May is that she never takes an alcoholic drink. But in fact, she obviously bent her principles because she accepted on the champagne circuit the Vive Clicquot Businesswoman of the Year award as well. So she's been the recipient of a number of national recognitions, and we're delighted that she's going to accept the journal recognition as well. But instead I was asked were there any particular memories that stuck in my mind from dealing with Anna May down the years. And when I think of the ploughing, we always got into some kind of problems. If we put it on the front page, it was on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So by Wednesday morning, we'd inevitably a choice of what kind of pictures to run. And Anna May was never happy if we put it lashing rain, Wellingtons, and up to your knees in mud. So after we did that for the first year, got a call, very nice, very polite, but very clear. We'd really rather you didn't show everyone swilling in mud. And when I thought of that, I thought of Anna May Umas too, Clonmel, Cracora, Castletown Road. Those 3 years, it lashed solidly for all 3 days. I've no problem with being towed out by a tractor for the ploughing. It was being towed in at 8 o'clock in the morning that strained it. But one of the few things that really struck me when I thought about it was in the journal, the embassy guys come in, they want a snapshot of Irish agriculture, so they might as well drop in to the journal office for an overview. And this very nice Argentinian guy came in anyway, and it was late August. So I said, oh, you must go down to the ploughing. And oh, how would I ever get there? I said, oh, foolishly, I said, don't worry, I'll give you a lift down. We'll meet at 8 o'clock, meet in my office at 8 o'clock, and we'll be down in good time. So we did that. I think it was in Ballycollar, Anna May. And we went down, and we were almost there, and it was about 10:30 or so. There's a bit of a queue getting in, but we were in good time. And he looked at his watch and he said, oh, by the way, Matt, I'd like to be back in Dublin by about 4:45. I said, 4:45? The traffic will be building up at that stage, so it'll probably be about 3 hours, and I'm not leaving at that time anyway to get you back at 4:45. So at about 2 o'clock he came to the journal stand, and you may remember Anna May, Mrs. McAleese was actually president at the time, but she was down in the campaign for the re-election, but in fact she didn't have to face the re-election. She got a unanimous nomination, but she came down anyway, and she had full police escort. I went over to the National Ploughing headquarters, and I said, Anna May, I've this Argentinian guy from the embassy. He wants a lift back to Dublin. Do you know anyone going back to Dublin? And quick as a flash, what did she say? She said, don't worry, the president is going back. She's got a military escort. She'll bring your man back. No, I said, we can't do that. Of course we can, she said. Mary, come here, president, come here to me. Matt has a guy down with him. The fellow needs to get back to Dublin. Can you give him a lift back? Mrs. McAleese was always charming and said, of course he could have a lift back. So he went back in the presidential car, and ever since I have been invited to the National Mass for the Argentinian National Day. Such is my status with the Argentinian community, the president having brought their diplomat back. The other thing, of course, is the empathy. Most times when people come onto a guy's farm, there's a certain degree of irritation. It's the county councillor, it's ESB, or it's the Department of Agriculture. There's always this, the sooner we get rid of these, the better. But what about the ploughing? The ultimate status and accolade for a farmer in Ireland is for Anna May to inspect the farm to see if it's suitable to hold the ploughing championships. No other organisation or person in the country is so welcome onto a place, because to be told that you've been chosen to hold the ploughing championships is the real acknowledgement of a farmer that has arrived. And then, coupled with that, there is the way you treat them at the ploughing itself. The farm family, or the host farmer as they're called, are there very much on a pedestal and very much with an acknowledged place in the community. So I think even for achieving that, it's a remarkable achievement.
The presentation to Anna May is a painting by Mark O'Neill, the very, very well-known painter who does tractors beautifully and collie dogs and all of that. He's based down near Donegal, and it's a very nice piece that's done. Two fellas discussing going to the plough. Can I call on Anna May to say a few words? Thank you.
This is totally unexpected now, but thank you very much, Marie, for being so nice to us this afternoon. Thank you very much, Matt, for your kind words. But I think there was something in that last glass of drink that you had when you said, oh, no, lovely kind words about me. However, I'm delighted, of course, to be heading the National Ploughing Association for so many years, and it has grown very much for us, and it has been more successful than we ever thought. But I can tell you, Matt mentioned one thing there in his speech, and that was commitment. Let it be day or night, I'm always at the other end of the phone, or there at the door to receive anyone, whoever calls for office. But my daughter said to me, you have them spoiled, Mammy, how are you going to cure that? Because Saturday and Sunday is always the same for me. If a person is out there, they need something for the National Ploughing Championships, I am there to respond. But thank you very much. I always have assured the Farmers Journal a very prominent location, and also the FBD. And of course, I am told where the IFA want to go. They just don't ask, tell me where they want to go. We've been dealing with CAT for a long number of years, but look, it all points to the success of the event, and it's nice to have all you people supporting us. I am delighted to receive this lovely award, Mairead, and thank you very much for nominating me, and thank you, Matt, for your kind words. And I look forward, whether you come with the Argentinian minister or not.